We should be going live, my brother.
Hello, everybody.
From another mother.
Hey. What y'all doing out there?
What y'all doing?
How's everybody doing today?
Just waiting on us, ain't you? Come on now.
Right. We were a little bit behind. We were sitting here chatting.
Hey.
Like, oh, wait.
We look up and it's like, oh, Joe, we're a minute behind.
Yep.
Oh, well. And now everybody can hear my dicky do over here on this end, so I better
y'all missed me yesterday. Did they miss
her out? Yes, they missed you yesterday, Mr. Joe.
I did not get out of jury
duty. Did.
They not missed you. Get out of jury duty.
You did not at all. No, you did not. No. Mr. Joe did not get out of the jury duty.
And now I'm on the hook till September.
That's nuts. What is that? The grand jury?
No, it's just it could be civil or criminal, either one.
Oh Lord! See, when I sat on the jury, if I didn't get picked for the jury that I got picked for, which was a murder trial. Of course, we didn't know it was a murder trial until after we were picked. But had I not gotten picked for that one, I would have been in the running for the next grand jury, and that in this state, in my area, runs for a year. And I was like, oh, Jesus, please. Oh, Jesus, please. Oh, Jesus, please. I don't want to be on the grand jury.
No, it's, the weird thing is too. And they said, okay, so they say they call up because it all goes on your voter registration. So I registered to vote here like a year ago. Because that's
why you got called.
I just switched over my actual citizenship or whatever, like 2 years ago. Because I always kept Oklahoma IDs and all that stuff. But I wanted a fishing license, so I had to get an Arkansas driver's license. And switch everything, you know what I mean? And so of course I registered to vote, and it was all because I registered to vote. I was like, what? Okay. But but they've only had 11 trials in 3 years. So there's a pretty good possibility that I will get out of it because nothing will come up. But they constantly look all the time, and it was the judge that talks to you, and he was like, it's all the time, the 11th hour they cancel. Or they don't cancel, but they'll come to a settlement, they'll take a plea bargain deal or something, and usually stuff doesn't even go to court. And you're like, okay,
Sweet.
Yeah, that could be good. I need to get
let's do some shout outs. We got some Albert, we got some Bessie, we got Terry. I can't see who else is here, but I know there are other people here because the number's bigger. But at any rate, we love y'all. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? I just now got
Hey.
Hey, I always have to turn my phone off,
I know, right? Me too.
And then my phone's dead, or the volume's all the way down on my phone, and I'll forget for hours and hours. And
that's why I didn't get the bat signal yesterday.
I know, the bat signal. I know. We got to get the bat signal.
I'm sorry, Joe. I apologize.
So, Gloria just gave me some funny look. I don't know why.
Okay. What's up, Gloria? What's that?
What do you give me a funny look for?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's always behind. There's a lag.
Yeah.
Big lag, she says.
We got a lot of comments yesterday on the particular topic that I spoke on yesterday. And I'm glad that everybody got something from that. I think that I posted it everywhere. I'm not sure. If you need a copy and don't have a copy, go to Krypto Let's Talk YouTube and grab it there. My suggestion would be with that particular one. And again, I'm gonna reassert this as a recap of yesterday. We are about to launch, y'all. Okay. Yeah. We've been in soft pre-launch now, and we're getting closer to our launch. We do not want to be looking like folks that got no business running these calls. Okay.
That's true.
So that being said, let's make sure that everybody's on the same page. Okay. And I have it on good authority after I got off the call yesterday, talked to several of the core 5 members. And they all agreed that the way that I had listed it out and the way that I recommended that we do once we get people on the line, that was the way that they would prefer for it to be done. So that being said, I knew that in my heart of heart and my mind of minds, because I actually said it yesterday on the call. but I did go back and I did check it out just to make sure that I hadn't overstepped my boundaries. And, because I'm all about asking for forgiveness and not worrying about permission. so, that's kind of how it goes. So today we're going to talk about a couple things that are going to kind of help you get to that stage, right? They're going to kind of help you get to the actual running of the appointment. And so the first thing that I want to address today is a little bit about being a dadpreneur, because I was kind of venting just a few minutes ago to my good buddy here. I'm going to have to start paying him in Bitcoin for therapy sessions, I think. But at any rate, I'm sure he won't mind.
Not at all. Not at all.
The first thing I want to say is that, I was working with my son and was helping him with yes, I'm one of those parents that gets their kids to do homework during the summer. Okay. I just want to keep it fresh and keep things moving in his head, because I don't want him to lose everything that he worked so hard for this year to get when he goes into school next year. So the question came up, I have the right answer. Why is it not right? That kind of relates to everything we do, doesn't it?
That really does.
Out of the mouths of babes, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's very true.
And this particular thing was in reference to some math equations, and he had the right answer, y'all, but he didn't. He was supposed to give 3 different ways that he got the answer, and he was supposed to put it on his sheet. And one's a picture, one's an equation, one's a label, and he's supposed to show his work. Nah. He got it up here.
3rd grade, buddy. It gets harder.
He got it up here. And I'm like, no, we can't do it that way. But why not? Why is it not right? If it's right, why is it not right? Well, how do you explain that? The only thing you can say is that's not what they're asking for.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's kind of where I left it, was that's not what they're asking for.
Hey, did you ever make it to Dollar Tree and get you some of these whiteboards?
I did not, but it's on my list.
They're handy. Oh, it's on your list.
It's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, that list gets pretty big.
That list that keeps growing.
Yeah, I think the list of things to do is about almost as big as the things you're actually doing too. It's not like we don't do nothing. We've got some house gifts coming. Yay! Which I'm real happy about. But because Renee and Haley and Shane, they're coming because they're getting transferred from. He's in the military, and like 20 years now, 21 years, something.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're getting transferred from Colorado Springs to Fort Hood, Texas.
Okay.
And so but their house, they bought a house in Texas, but it doesn't close yet for like another week or so. I guess, is that it, Gloria?
About
The 19th or something. And then the other house in Colorado Springs is already gone.
Oh.
Or it's going to be gone. Well, the movers, the military pays to move you. And they come and pack everything
out.
But they've canceled on them 2 days now.
Oh, Lord. Well, I'm sure if we ask him, and he's been in the military for 20 years, if we ask him that question, I got the right answer. Why is it not right? I'm sure he's got a very different answer for why it's not right.
Oh yeah. He does. It's funny. They did a real big troop movement, and he's a tanker. And I always thought, Gloria always told me he was a tanker, and I thought he drove like a gas truck, like a semi, like a tanker truck. No. M1A1 Abrams tanks. Tank.
Lord. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't anymore because he's graduated up, or not graduated, but he's like a first sergeant now. So he don't ever get tanks anymore, But it's just kind of funny because they had a big troop movement, and shipped a bunch of stuff cross country. Well, they shipped a bunch of stuff overseas is where they shipped it. And they were forever getting everything on the trains to do it. And then they lost an M1 Abrams tank.
Oh, maybe it got sent to space for that space program, Joe.
Do what?
Maybe it got sent to space for that space
program.
Yeah,
our new Star Wars program. I think we've had that before, haven't we?
I think so. We're not going down that rabbit hole. I just thought I would interject there.
That's great, though. Yeah.
Okay, y'all, look. Yeah. So everybody wants to run appointments.
But they lost a tank.
How do you lose a tank? Where do you put it?
They're like 80 tons or something like that.
Where do you put it to lose it?
In Houston, it ended up in Oklahoma.
Oh, my God.
You're like, what? I mean, at least it didn't end up in California or somewhere.
Well, see? Okay. So yesterday we had a complete hour-long conversation about running appointments. Oh, my God. Right? So it's all good. We had that appointment. It was really good. We enjoyed it. We got a lot of things out in the open. We got you guys on the same page. Everybody's going to do the right stuff. I got hit up and asked to do some 3-way calls. So apparently people think that my outline was good or my bullet points were good or whatever. So that's a beautiful thing. So let's talk about the stuff that we do prior to getting to those running of the appointments, right? So how do you get to running the appointments? Well, first of all, you got to talk about some stuff. Like really, seriously, y'all, you got to talk about some stuff, okay? You cannot, and I know that Joe and I talk about being social and being, building relationships and all that good stuff, right? But you can't just put pictures of the baby up there or the dog or food or whatever and expect to attract people about your business. If they don't know what you do.
Are you picking on me? Because I put pictures of my dog and my food up there?
No. Because I put pictures of my dog and my food up there too.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't put any pictures of baby.
But at the same time, though, Joe, that's not true. The pictures of if you and I were invested in a coin, for instance, and we doubled our money, we would put up a post that said, took a chance on a no-name token and doubled our money in a week. Yeah. I'm just using that as an example. Okay.
Or we might even added a zero to it.
Right. And so do you think that people might get the idea about what we're doing if you do that? I'm not saying, and again, I don't want you guys going out there and plastering the name of your company and trying to recruit everybody. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about being subtle. I'm talking about something that you're passionate about. You're in cryptocurrency, you're passionate. You wouldn't be in it if you weren't passionate. Because let me tell you, if you're in cryptocurrency and the only reason that you're in cryptocurrency is to make a bunch of money, then you might as well get out right now. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
It's not just going to do that either. And it's not going to be overnight. I mean, you may get lucky on something, you know what I mean? And go, whoa, and catch something when it's just skyrocketing. You know what I mean? Right before the skyrocket. But it's a work. There's a lot of work to it. And this is a weird thing. Because, I always joke about Gloria being my assistant. You know what I mean? But now that she's doing this, honestly, man, the table's kind of turned on this a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm going to facilitate all the I guess you would say the business end of it, the moving of monies and things like that. You know what I mean? And she's doing the other, and I'm kind of her assistant on this. Is the way, the tide's kind of turned on this one. You know what I mean? And then
nothing wrong with that, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. And Joe, there's going to be a lot of flack. We're going to get some hate on that one. Because, I said, if you're in cryptocurrency and all you want to do is make a bunch of money, you might as well get out now. And that's okay. I don't say anything I don't mean. Right. So if you want to beat me up and send me hate mail, that's fine. I don't care. What I will say to you.
Remember your horoscope.
Yeah, I know. What I will say to you though is this, you got to have some passion. Like it's not just about the money. And that's any business. That's any business. That's not just crypto. Okay, y'all. That's any business. That is, if the only reason you're doing anything is financial gratitude, right? It's not enough, y'all. It's not enough. It's not enough because at the end of the day, when you start getting bogged down with all the work and you're not seeing the money come, because you got to do a lot of work to get to the money.
A lot.
Okay? You're going to get disheartened. You're going to get disheveled. You're going to, you're going to say all this stuff don't work and all kinds of stuff's going to go through your head and you're not going to have the wherewithal. You're not going to have the wherewithal that you need in order to stay on board. And that's why I said you might as well just, go ahead and quit now. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to anybody. Joe knows that. Yeah. And I think all of you all do as well. I'm trying to really get across is, you know, let's use Joe's bar for instance. Okay, if Joe wasn't passionate about people,
right?
Okay, at the end of the day, he wouldn't have a successful bar. Him and Gloria would not have a successful bar. Okay,
it's more work
because it's a lot. Is it not a lot of work, Joe?
It's a ton, and it's one of those things where it's a lot of work, and with any like a business like we all have, with Cryptogenics, we don't really have any overhead for the most part. I mean, not much. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not enough to even worry about, really. But for instance, I just had to fix my air conditioner. You know what I mean? A little part went off. Luckily, the guy that we use is a real nice guy. We know him. Worked with him. Gloria's known him for 30 years. And always our business. Yeah. And he just happened to have the part we needed.
Wow.
Just happened to have, and of course he does air conditioning, so he had to put some Freon in or something. But it ended up being right about $300. And I was like, all right, cool. We were excited, because we were ready to write a couple $1,000 check if we had to, because it's just, you can't run the business without air conditioning in the summer.
No. People aren't going to stay, bro.
You're going to spend a lot of money in businesses like that, and there has to be something at the end of the rainbow at the end of the day, kind of. You're going to be like, okay, man, I had a really great conversation with those people. I really enjoyed their company. You know what I mean? It can't be about the money in that drawer, really. That's the hard part. And if you try to make it that way, you're going to fail. That's where a lot of people make mistakes here. Is they come here and open businesses and they don't manage their money right, or they're thinking, boom, 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 we got all these tourists and I'm going to gouge them and get every dime I can out of them, and sell $10 drinks, and that's all I'm selling. Well, people don't like that. You know what I mean? And, I can sell a whole lot more $6 drinks and $5 drinks than I can $10 drinks all day long. You know what I mean? And make up the difference in volume,
Right.
But you have to love what you're doing. It can't just be about the money, because
passion goes a long way, bro.
Yeah. Like the trading thing that Gloria and I are doing, or well, really Gloria's doing it actually, but yeah, it's, man, she likes it and it's fun and it's good for us in our relationship because we're working together and having fun and blah, 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 and it's funny because I do this stuff and this stuff's in my head all day long, and then she's talking to me about it. I'm like, I'm trying to eat chili dogs.
I'm eating chili dogs. Do I really have to answer that right now?
I did have some delicious chili dogs last night. I like my sausages, those sausages that I use instead of hot dogs. Ooh, put some chili on them. Chili. Oh, man. Looked like they came from right? Amazing.
So basically what you're saying,
Sorry, I rambled.
No, you're fine. Basically what you're saying for those people that are, maybe just jumping in or kind of got confused with our rabbit hole, what you're saying, Joe, is that, the money isn't enough to keep you in the business. You have to have more.
Right.
And that more is defined by the person. It's not defined by the product. It's not defined by the business. Mm-hmm. And so I offer this example. This past weekend, you guys had a blues thing.
Right.
And some people that you knew were coming in.
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, I got to go. I'm going to see my peeps. I haven't seen them in a year. I want to go see them. I want to talk to them, see how they're doing, blah, 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 blah. And the first thing that went through my mind was, it wasn't for you. It had nothing to do with a dollar sign. No. It had everything to do with the friendship and with the comradeship that you had formed with these particular customers, which is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
And that's the neat thing about our business is, we have people that have been coming here to our business for 15 years. Mm-hmm. They come once or twice a year, and you know them, you know their kids, you know all the stories and stuff because, they'll come in and hang out for 2 or 3 days, and they're not sitting there getting, like hammered or anything, but, they'll get something to eat and have a couple beers and really spend more time chatting than anything,
You guys do serve coffee too,
Yeah, we have coffee. That's true. We got one of them commercial ones. So it's like plumbed in. Water's plumbed into it.
Sweet. A never-ending pot.
It is. It's incredible.
Love it.
It's incredible. You know what the hard part is, though? Getting your employees not to use like a half a thing of coffee.
They're trying to save you money, bro.
No. They're using way too much.
Oh,
No. I mean, like, because the thing's like that big on the commercial ones, they're big as your head, and so you got an amount you put in there that makes the coffee right, but it'll be this like oil comes out like raw brewed.
Okay, so they're making Texas crud.
And then they go put like about a half a cup. They'll get like a half cup of coffee, and then they put like a half a cup of half and half in it. You know how expensive half and half is? It's one of the most expensive things.
Because it's tart, brother. It's tart.
Well, don't make the coffee so strong.
All right, y'all. So we got another thing we want to talk about today. And all of this stuff is very social media related. Yeah. I hope you guys are connecting the dots. I hope you're getting something from it. That is our ambition every single day, is to deliver good content and great ideas to you all. So, how do you talk to people? That's something I want to talk about kind of extensively. I left it for the last one because I knew it would take the longest. And, I asked Joe earlier, he said, what are we going to talk about today? And I said, well, I kind of want to ask the question, is it a one shoe fits all when you're talking to people?
Nope.
And you said what, Joe?
No, not at all. It doesn't mean what shape or form. You have to ask questions to find out what shoe fits. I mean, it's just like trying on different shoes. Sometimes you got dressed like, you got more than one shoes in your closet, probably. Really got some flip flops. You know what I mean? So you're going to be, let's say with your flip flop, relaxed person, you're going to be a little more relaxed. You know what I mean? When somebody comes in some polished dress shoes, you're going to be a little more business, more appropriate. Somebody comes in some tennis shoes. Hey, what's going on, buddy? They're probably pretty laid back. You know what I mean? And that's weird. I've never thought about that like that, but that just happened.
That's kind of cool that you use shoes to determine exactly what how you're going to talk to somebody. That's a really cool thing. Keep going.
But so you have different conversations, and somebody comes in, for instance, they're there for a blues fest. You can talk about music, that, or I was talking to somebody last night, car salesman, you know what I mean? And I talked him into finding me a pickup truck for about $200 so I can put a new motor in mine.
Sweet.
Yeah. And and of course I gave him some lucky cards, of course.
Of course.
But I didn't really talk about it much, you know what I mean? And because we were talking about other stuff. And so I was, real relaxed with him. He's kind of a country guy, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about hunting and fishing and things like that, stuff to do.
What kind of shoes was he wearing?
He was actually wearing boots.
Oh, there you go.
Boots on. But see, like I said, it's, they're from Texas, and you just pick up on these things, and it kind of, it's how you deal with people. And you can tell by their language, even on a text message, it's, hey, how you doing? You're not going to have a real formal conversation. I personally, I try not to be formal. And it's not because I don't know how to be. I mean, I do, but I like to keep things a little bit lighter,
Right.
Years ago, I used to work for a company called First Data, and I worked for it was a credit card processing place, a huge company. And the branch that I was in was USAA credit cards services. So 90% of them are military, so you were appropriate. You answered a question. That was it. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So you can be talking to, lieutenants, and I don't think I ever talked to any generals because usually they have somebody else handle that kind of stuff for them. It's weird, but they really do. But I was talking to Secret Service people all the time, things like that. And it's just very cut, very dry. Here's an answer. But now some of the people, when you switch back and do different cards every now and then, it'd be relaxed. It'd be, you could, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, you having fun? Okay, we need to up your credit limit. Not a problem. Let's see what we can do. And it's all the different ways of communicating, and you get the tones of their voice too. Some people are just completely annoyed that they got to deal with anything. And then some people just they'll chat with you all day long, and you're trying to get them off the phone.
Tells a whole life story.
Yeah, exactly.
My grandmother was that way, and she would always ask for someone that spoke Spanish because she wanted to talk in her native language. And I used to joke with her a lot because I would, she was older and she lived alone, and I would joke with her and I'd say, you just call them people at the bank and talk to them in Spanish so you have somebody to talk to. And she'd just die laughing, because she really was doing banking business, but she knew that I was picking on her, and so she'd, oh, shut up, she'd say, shut up. So, you know, Joe's absolutely right. And I have used the shoe thing before. So it's kind of cool that he made that mental connection today and didn't know that he had been doing it. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's all different kinds of ways to know who you're talking to. Okay. Right. A lot of people put a lot of stock into the color system. All right. Yeah. I personally, and this is me personally, and like yesterday, you know, I talked yesterday in great length about personally. And so yesterday, when I was talking to you guys, I said, me personally. So today, me personally, with the color wheel, I like the fact that it's a guide. Okay. Like for me, it's not written in stone. Okay. So, you know, it's not like the 10 Commandments or anything. But at the end of the day, it can kind of give you a little bit of structure, a little bit of guidance as to where, you know, where a person's at or where they might go. So you're probably wondering, well, Chris, what in the world are you talking about? So I'll pick on a red for a second. Okay. Reds are, they're usually pretty quick to make a decision. They're right on top of things. They are short, sweet, simple, and to the point. Small talk is not something that they do a lot of. If they're having a conversation, it's because whatever they're talking about is important and needs to be discussed, and they want to get to the bottom of it and move on. So that's kind of the red guy, right? Like, so we have a red in the core 5, and I won't say who it is, but you can probably take your guesses, and there's only one of them. And so, you know, we have a red, and, you know, it does make a lot of sense because I've talked to some reds before, and when you're talking to them, when you're explaining to them your business or how things work or anything like that, they don't want to go through around the forest and come back to the wood pile. They want to go straight to the wood pile and chop the wood and get it over with. Okay. And so you may be losing people, right? Like, I guess what I'm getting at here is it may do you some good, okay, to just kind of figure out where your person's at. Who are you talking to? Don't treat everybody the same. Don't have one spill, one pitch for everybody, because it doesn't work. No. You can say the same words 4 different ways or 5 different ways or 6 different ways, just with influx and pronunciation and hesitation and modulation. Okay. And talking to Joe's not a red. Okay. So if I talk to Joe the way that I would talk to this guy that's a red, I'd probably lose Joe because he'd be like, you know, I didn't get enough. I need more than that. Like, yeah. I don't feel like I was friended here. I feel, you know, I just feel like another number. So, and that's kind of how Joe would feel, you know. It is important. It is important to really speak to people on a level that they can understand. We say all the time, meet the person where they're at. Well, that goes deeper than just their pockets, just their desires, just their wants, just their family life. That also goes into who is this person that I'm speaking to. So take a few minutes. You know, yesterday we were talking about the 80-20 rule, and we talked about the fact that by the time you elevate your suspect to a possibility and your possibility to a prospect, your prospect that you are actually going to present to should be presenting to you 80% of the time. And you should only be talking 20% of the time. So I, for the benefit of Joe, I kind of ran through that so he would know what I said yesterday. But, you know, it's very true. So this is where you learn, right? This is where you hear and learn who you're talking to. Because a red, I'm stuck on red for some reason today. I think it's the live that's flashing in my face. The red is going to get straight to the point. You know, their 80% is going to be more like a 40% because they're not real talkative type people, right? Like they just want to know the answers and move on. Joe might talk 160% of the 80% because he's a social person and that's important to him to make that connection. Shut up. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right. Squirrel. Gloria's go squirrel when I looked.
You know,
what? Where?
And then it's also good to know. That's a good point. It's also good to know if someone is a little bit squirrely, right? Like they got a little bit of ADHD going on. So, if they're talking and they change the subject 15 times, then you know that when you're talking to them and you're giving them valuable information, if it's something that's really, really, really important, not that everything you say is not important, but like, for instance, if it's about the compensation plan, and let's just say that
that's pretty important,
Joe's going to get $100 every time he puts somebody in the business. Might say that 4, 5, 6 times.
It's like this. And if they're standing up, can I give them a demonstration?
Yeah.
Demonstration tools.
Sure.
Okay. So this is the person you're talking to, the squirrel. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're, and this is you. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you're talking. Squirrel, just move over here. Squirrel, just move over here. Just trying to stay in front of them. What?
Yeah. And it helped. It helped with those folks that, with those folks that are a little bit bouncy or squirrely, it helps to make eye contact. Now, here's an important tip. Okay. When you're making eye contact, always pick one eye, not both. And the reason for that is because if you focus on one eye, your eyes don't dart around. But if you look at someone in both of their eyes, your eyes tend to bounce. Both eyes will check each eye individually. So it appears that you're not being serious. It appears that you're not being cordial. It appears that you would rather be anywhere else in the world except talking to them. So, it's just a tip. Focus on one eye. Try it.
Try not to focus on your nose so this happens.
Yeah, I know, right? And test that out. Don't just take my word for it, but, when you see your spouse or your friend or whatever today, try talking to them and try looking at both eyes. And when you look at both eyes, you'll see that, you're darting, which is kind of, it's just a fact. It's just the way the human body works. Yeah. So, as you can see, it is definitely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it is nowhere near a one shoe fits all kind of deal. Nope. And I used shoe. It's funny that I said shoe, but I was really thinking, just one size fits all. Have you ever gone to the beach? This annoys me to no end, right? Like you go to the beach and you want to buy a souvenir T-shirt, and they say one size fits all. Bull hockey.
Yeah, okay? That's not true.
I am 5'5", right? Jeff is really? 6'2". Yeah, Jeff is 6'2". Ain't no way that my shirt's gonna fit him and him's gonna fit me. That's out of the question. No. Okay, because his has got to be longer because he's got a longer torso, right? Yeah. So it would look like a dress on me if I wore that thing. No. One size does not fit all. Well, it does.
Hey, I want to get you a Eureka Springs T-shirt, a one size fits all.
No, please don't. It's like the hats too, y'all. And
what do you need, a big and tall shirt? Is that what you said? A big and tall?
Yeah. So I know that the guys will understand about the hats, right? Yeah. Ladies don't wear a whole lot of hats, but guys will understand about hats. Joe, you and I are not going to wear the same size hat.
No.
And just because it's adjustable in the back, okay, well, if I have to adjust all the way down.
I got a little head,
Right. And this is what happens. If I have to adjust that Velcro thing all the way down, then I got a buckle in the hat and it's uncomfortable and it's rubbing me in the head. And it's like, I'm not wearing that, and I throw it across the room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
They are not one size fit all. Business is not one size fits all. When you are talking to your people, make sure that you personalize it. Make sure that, you allow that person to feel the personal connection. That's important. Especially if you want to get to running the appointment, right? Because you're not going to get to running the appointment if you haven't made that personal connection. That much I can promise you.
Hey, Chris, I got a question.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, when you go out to eat, do you have to have a booster chair?
No.
Gloria's not even looking at me. She said right here, she's like, I'm not even going to look at him.
On a pillow to drive either. Thank you very much.
Get you some platforms. I'm just kidding.
So at any rate,
you needed to laugh today. See,
I needed to laugh.
Leave it to go.
It's good. It's good. So, when you get out there, when you're talking to your people, make sure you connect with them, y'all. Make them feel good. Talk about things that don't necessarily have to do with the business, right? You're collecting information.
Yeah.
You should always be collecting. Always.
All
right. So if you're talking to, like, for instance, Joe, I would know that, both Joe's daughters are gone for the summer, but they're about to come to the house. I would know that, him and Gloria are about to have house guests.
Mm-hmm.
I would know that, the dog hung out in the neighborhood last night and didn't come home. I would know, just stuff. Yep. Now, how does that make my presentation better? It makes my presentation better because I just personalized it.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not just presenting to somebody, telling them, hey, this is my business, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Yes, you can make money too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're making it personal.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What'd you say?
I might say to Joe.
Yeah, and fun. And you make it fun because you can talk more. Sorry, Gloria.
Absolutely.
Now my assistant
we can't make
telling
it
me what
fun.
to say.
There you go. That's a good assistant right there. Go ahead, Glow. Go ahead, honey. We love her.
This rule changing thing, I don't know if I'm real comfortable with.
So we're gonna
be the assistant.
We're gonna talk to Joe a little bit. Like, we're gonna say, Joe, it's expensive raising kids.
Yeah, it is.
Girls are even more expensive than boys.
Yeah, they really are. All them dolls.
That's a fact, y'all. That is a fact. Okay.
It really is.
And guess what? I just connected to Joe. Now, when I said that, okay, his sales filters dropped to the floor. They're gone because I've connected with him on a personal level.
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about my kid now.
He's not thinking about, Chris is getting ready to tell me that it's going to cost me money to do this thing that I'm going to do. No, he's not thinking about that. No. He's thinking about the fact that we connected, that we're both dads, that I have a boy, and that I think I'm better off, not just because I have one and he has two, but I have a boy and he has two girls. So I win. So, but at the end of the day, y'all, that's what makes life interesting. That's how you connect to your folks, right? So it really is imperative. It really is imperative that you connect with your people if you want to run appointments. And that's what I'm going to tell you. Now, am I going to tell you to go study the 4 colors and know it backwards and forwards and be able to walk down the street and identify somebody as a certain color? No, I'm not going to do that. If you want to use the color system, it's helpful.
Yeah.
I don't know the color system completely, to be honest. Like, I know points about them. I look for certain things for each color. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do a class on it. Okay.
That's right, Albert. Be unstoppable.
Absolutely. We are definitely unstoppable. So, if we're one thing, we're unstoppable because every single time that something throws a monkey wrench in our plans, we push through and take it over and continue to go. And, if you guys haven't read the book Unstoppable, I would definitely recommend it. Every game changer should read Unstoppable. That's what I'm going to say about that. He's a yellow red.
That's funny.
That's funny, Albert. So
I kind of think a lot of us are, though, like the whole, because it's because you're not necessarily one, because like, the yellow, you're more compassionate, more talkative and blah, blah, blah. But the red, you make that decision. Mm-hmm. I don't have a hard time making decisions. Boom, done, doing it, not doing it, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But now where I get caught up is the yellow part, and going, after I make the decision, and a lot of it's self-doubt, you know what I mean? And everybody has it. That's not, don't beat yourself up over certain things. You know what I mean? Because everybody has ups and downs. You know what I mean? It's not if you fall down, it's how you get back up. You know what I mean? That's what counts. You know what I mean? But I don't know why I lost it. I squirreled out, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's because you were trying to read Albert's post.
I know.
And when you read the thought that you were talking here, it went right out your head. I saw it. I was watching it. Like, okay, he's getting ready to lose this. I'm gonna have to say something. No, seriously, y'all. You know, it is very, very important that everybody understand that, you know, you don't have to sponsor everybody today. And I think if I could leave you guys with one piece of knowledge for the day, one tip, it would be you do not have to sponsor everybody today. You know, take your time, get to know people, know something about them. How in the, I almost said ugly word. How in the world are you going to help someone build their business, like truly build their business, if you have no idea who the person you're helping is?
Yeah, you don't know what their needs may be. You don't, you know, and through this stuff, we can take different approaches helping other people. Like, hey, some people do need to go out there and hustle, make some cash, make some quick cash, you know, find a way to do it. And you're like, hey, then just get out there. Don't waste time listening. Just do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it should work. You know what I mean? But if they don't, they go, well, let's train you up a little bit more. You know what I mean? And let's ease into it. You know, and you're going to run into that. I mean, that's the difference. You know, and you can think about shoes. That's probably not the person with those brand new polished shoes on. That's the person that's got the work boots. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? That are got a hole in the bottom. You know, and it's just a way of seeing people and getting to know things and understanding their needs. You know, and because we all have different needs and different responsibilities in life and different, you know, stuff that we have to do, you know. So that's kind of what Chris is saying, I think, right? You need to get to know what they need. You know, you get them trained up. Like Chris and I have time to go through all this stuff. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I have another business that facilitates that takes care of everything. You know what I mean? I got time to go through all these trainings and work into it and slowly go. You know what I mean? Now, years back, I didn't. I would have had to hit the ground running. And if I hadn't already made a windfall, there would have been a problem probably. You know what I'm saying? But you just have to kind of get to know your people, you know, and that will help you help them, you know.
Right.
You know, and just be open. You know, I mean, and I know those are questions nobody wants to ever ask, and it's uncomfortable and almost rude. You know what I mean? But you need to know sometimes their financial situations. You need to know, you know, you don't want to, you know, like maybe you want to sign them up for KGX Pro, but maybe they don't really have the money or something like that. You kind of need to know that because you don't want to embarrass that person and alienate them and make them feel bad, because the last thing you want to do is make them feel bad. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? Confidence in this thing. You know what I mean? You need confidence in everything in life, but especially what we do.
Yeah.
You know? And it's with our thing, we're not selling a lotion. You know what I mean? Everybody knows what lotion is. Everybody knows what organic dirt bar soap is. It's the most amazing spa product ever made.
But you know, they don't compare.
They don't compare.
Does not compare to the underwater nap.
The underwater napping is amazing.
I have got to have me one of those today.
Everybody does. First thing.
And we just lost everybody, but that's okay.
I know. But what I'm saying is oh man, Chris, why'd you
lost it again, didn't you?
You squirreled me, man. You brought up underwater napping, and then I was going to go into a whole spiel.
Joe, you know, I'll finish it for you. It is very important not to alienate your people, and you can step on people's toes by accident.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, with good intention, you're like, oh, this is a great tool. Everybody should try to use this. And so you tell everybody about it. Well, you know, everybody might not be on the same page financially. Right. Like maybe it was all they could do to, you know, get the money together to do the education. Right. And they put a little bit of something in an exchange and they're trying to build seed money from there. There's nothing wrong with that. Right. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
What I want everyone to understand is, and what I think the message is, you know, again, at the beginning of this, we were talking about finances, and we were talking about if you're in your business just for the money, get out.
Yeah.
Now, because it's not going to happen. Okay. And there was a real seed in my head when I said that. And again, I'm not telling anyone to leave their business. I'm just saying that can't be your only motivation. Like if you write out your goals and money is the only thing you've got on there, you got to dig a little deeper. Okay. You got to do some soul searching. You got to get inside your own head and your own heart so that you can get where you want to go. Now,
you got to figure out what you want.
Right. That being said, and I said yesterday, you interview your people. Interview your people. You don't want to work with everybody, but you do want to work with the people that you want to work with. Now, additionally, I will put a tail on that. I'll pin a tail to it by saying you're really not, and let this sink in really good and marinate. I'm going to get some emails on this one, I know. You're really not sponsoring people into your business, right? And you're saying, what in the hell is he talking about? You're really taking people on a journey. You're looking for people that want to better themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have the keys. You have the keys to the kingdom for that. Now, how do you know which key? Notice I said keys because we're all dangling a ring with keys, right? How do you know which key unlocks what lock? Right. Well, you know that by taking the journey with them. Okay. So for instance, my good buddy Joe here, good compadre, great co-host, awesome shoulder to lean on. He's there when you need him. He's there. That's something that I need to know about Joe, because if he does it for me, he's going to do it for his team. Okay. Something else I need to know about Joe is he's got 2 girls, right? Yeah. So, the idea that, one of his girls, they're both expensive, but at the end of the day, let's just say that they're both pre-college. Okay. Let's just say they're both pre-college, because I'm not telling his personal business. Okay. It's going to cost Joe this much to send those girls to school. Okay. Yep. Now, if I can show him something that will help him get there, right, and help them walk across the stage and be debt-free when it's done, don't you think that would be a huge plus for Joe, right?
Huge plus.
I mean, y'all, you gotta think more about the journey. Think about 10 years from now, not the check you're going to make today. Okay. You got to get out of that mentality. You have to get out of that mentality. I have heard that people are disappointed. Their businesses aren't growing. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. I say that's on you. What are you not doing correctly? Okay. Because if my business is not growing, I'm not going to my upline. Okay. I'm not going to my up team. I'm not going to the core 5. My business isn't growing. I don't know what to do. No, I'm going to me. I'm going to Chris. What is Chris not doing that he needs to be doing in order for his business to grow? Now, that kind of sounds like I'm comparing it to a paycheck. That's not it. If I'm not bringing in new members to take a journey with, then I'm not growing, y'all. Okay. And a lot of this stuff you're going to continue to teach, and you're going to continue to do it repetitively. All right. And you're going to do it more than one time. That's okay. That's your job. Okay. At the end of the day, that's your job. And really, if you're in any kind of a business in direct sales or marketing, the only job that you have, the only real job that you have is collecting decisions. That's it. You just want to know where people are. Okay. You just want to know, do they need some help? Do they want some help? Do they want a book to read? Do they need a website built? Do they, you need to know what they need. It's collecting decisions repetitively. Okay.
Right. It's kind of like, it's like waiting tables.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go up.
Absolutely.
And all you're doing is writing down people's decisions. You know what I mean?
Taking that person on a journey, Joe.
Yeah.
From the time that they enter the restaurant, right, they start their journey in the car, because they've had a 30-minute conversation. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. I don't care. Whatever you want. Back and forth with their
You yell at each other
for 30 minutes. Finally, they pull into a restaurant because they can't take any more. They're starving to death, and it's going to be this one. You go in, and you're greeted by the hostess. The hostess says, "May I seat you?" You say yes. They ask you smoking or non-smoking. You know, if you still have that in your state. It's a series. It's a series of decisions.
Right.
So they're collecting decisions and taking you on a journey. Everything you do in life, if you haven't learned this yet, learn it now. Every single thing you do is a journey.
Right. Hey, let's Chris.
Hey, bud.
Chris and I kind of made a real rookie mistake yesterday.
You want to share that?
Yeah, because I think it's valuable.
I'm really a little embarrassed.
Well, no, I'll say I did it then. I did it, not him.
No, it wasn't you. I'll take the blame. It was definitely me.
Looking at your trading stuff, and you've been following it, like we've been telling everybody, just track the stuff for a week or so before you go throwing your money out the window or throwing your money at something. That's been what we've been doing. So I don't know. I've got stuff that we've got on paper. We've been tracking for a few weeks now, or a couple to a few. You know what I mean? We never took the time to actually check the market, what market exchange it was in. And so decided to pull the trigger on one yesterday. And none of us had none of us were involved in that exchange.
So
we're going, oh crap.
The moral to this story is when you take a journey.
You your money out of Coinbase. That's another moral to the story. They're horrible.
When you take a journey, know where you're going to end up, okay? Because, real rookie mistake. I had a lot on my plate. I'll be honest. Not making excuses. I'm completely owning the mistake. It was a rookie mistake. I did it.
To do this, even, I think.
But here's the thing. I couldn't imagine, it never registered in my head. Now, if this had been a year ago, the first thing I would have done was went to the markets and saw what exchange it was on. But because I've been in so long now and I have so many different exchanges, it never occurred to me that I wouldn't have the exchange that was needed to buy the stupid token, right? So, Joe sends up the bat signal during dinner. I'm scrambling and I go to Cointelegraph, CoinMarketCap. I go there and I hit the coin and I look, and the first thing I did was hit markets, which is normally what you do when you like a coin, right? Or a token. I hit markets. I'm like, oh no. And Joe's like, what? And I'm like, ooh. He said, I'm not at home. What's the problem? I'm like, dude, I hate to tell you this, but it's only on 4 exchanges. Actually, it was on 3. I told the story. It's only on 3 exchanges, and I don't have any of the 3. He's like, you have got to be kidding me, right? I'm like, He's like, how fast can we get that done? I'm like, ooh, that's.
And I was having to call Chris for it because, like I said, I wasn't at home. I didn't have my computer, so I don't have all my setup on my phone. You know what I mean? And I was like, and I've been battling Coinbase for.
Oh, we don't even want to talk about Coinbase.
Since I started this.
Coinbase.
Okay, now, because they screwed my account up, then they removed that account. And so I got money just stuck there. Just stuck. And I'm like, so I even went in and went, okay, forget it. I'm cashing out on everything. Just my money to me.
Just send me my money. Mm-hmm.
So now I've just got money sitting there. It's not even, I have fiat sitting in it now. It's not even doing anything. I was like, oh.
And for those of you who don't know, in the crypto world, there is decentralized and centralized.
Right.
And Coinbase operates in a very centralized habitat.
Right.
And, when you, for instance, if I go to Wells Fargo today and I put $100 in my account, that $100 doesn't go in my account. I just get a credit for $100 in my account, and they take my money and they do whatever they want to do with it. Well, Coinbase is really kind of the same way. When you put money in Coinbase and then you buy coins, you don't really have the coins. They have your coins.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just getting the credit.
Unless you move them into your personal wallet.
Right.
They have your coins, period. You have a credit for said coins that they will allow you to move around at your discretion if they allow you to. Joe found out very quickly.
Yeah.
And so it operates too much like a bank for me. And so, everybody knows my position on Coinbase. I don't like them. But I also know that for the brand new person, it is the most user friendly. But I always tell people, get your coins and get them out of there. Don't leave them there. Get your coins and get them out of there. So
get familiar and comfortable with another one.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised that Joe wanted to admit our rookie mistake, especially since I've been around for, a year and a couple months.
Well, no, it was, the thing is, it's it's not like it's on one person either. It's on, we can't put it on Gloria because I'm her assistant, so I'm in trouble now.
No. What I mean is that this
but always look, that's one of those things that you overlook. You know what I mean?
It's part of our transparency. We make mistakes too. Even having been in the industry for a little while, we still make mistakes. It happens. We're dadpreneurs. We're married. We have homes. It's summer. There's people running in and out of the house all the time. It happens. I just didn't think about it, but I won't make that mistake again.
I got one more thing, Chris.
One more thing.
Check this out. Tomorrow I'll be coming to you live from a different location. I will be located in the bay window because my desk is being moved.
Sweet.
Because the dinner table needs to go back over here or something. I don't know.
Such inconveniences.
I'm like, we have TV trays. What do we need a dinner table?
Such inconveniences.
But if we move the dinner table, I don't know where I'm going to sit on my junk.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you.
I got more plugins over there, though. That's kind of good. But so I'll have like blinds behind me like Chris does tomorrow.
Hey, we love you guys. We rambled today. It was one of those days. Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff out. It was just one of those days we needed live today. Okay. And some days you guys don't know it, but we need you guys. All right.
Yeah.
So today was one of those days.
Let us get out of our own skin a little bit, even though, and so like, we all got to put on a happy face sometimes, and you're going, but, sometimes doing that's a good thing. You know what I mean? It gets you out of your head a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
It teaches you to modulate your words.
Modulate. What?
Modulate your words.
Modulate your words.
So, look, guys.
Love y'all. It's been an hour.
People, it's been an hour. We love you. Check the blog. Remember, we have 2 presentations today. One just started a minute ago, kgxglobal.info. The second one will start tonight at 9 p.m., kgxglobal.info. Those are Eastern Standard Times. Check the blog. Remember,
check the blog.
Check the blog. We love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. We love you.
Love you guys. Bye.